I started working in 1994 at VUT. My salary was 2,700.
Yo, greetings again guys, it's your boy Khalihle Christian Mthethwa, abanye abangazi bangibiza ngonyambo osudingisayo umaqoqo amapips abanye befuna umsebenzi. Welcome again to an exciting episode in Money Making Money, brought to you by VUT Campus TV. So today I have someone who is very inspirational, someone who I personally look up to, Bambizu Dr. Lawrence Gog. Greetings doctor.
Hi, Kai.
Are you good, doctor?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Like it's an opportunity itself to have you here. Like it's a blessing itself. So before we get into the interview, can you just tell me a little bit about who is Dr. Lawrence Gog? Like who is Dr. Lawrence?
Very humble person. Very coming from a very humble background as well. Born in Alexander Township. Back in the days during apartheid time, whereby it's been very difficult to even think that one would be where they are now, because education at that stage, it was only secluded for black people to go into specific areas. But anyway, we had dreams, broke through the ranks, and then I've studied HR, human resource management. But in any case, in short, you may call me doctor or even Lawrence, but however, my PhD was acquired via UJ, University of Johannesburg. I've worked for the Vaal University of Technology for 26 years as a lecturer. Yes, resigned in 2020 during COVID to pursue different areas within the business sector. I'm a board member of Metrobus, although the term just ended this year, that is in the city of Johannesburg due to political issues. Yeah, actually, there's a lot. I mean, if you really have time, I would go deep.
I'm listening.
Yes.
I'm listening. The main motive for the show is for us. It's for me specifically, and for our viewers at home to learn, to get inspired. Because from where most of us grew up in difficult situations, whereby we see success as something that is far from us.
Yeah.
So when we hear such stories from you, we get inspired. So time is not a problem. You can just tell us, just
not a
inspire
factor.
us.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, look, I think the beauty about me coming here, that's why I really didn't want to deny the opportunity or decline the opportunity. Because if you look at coming to the Vaal University of Technology, it's like coming back home. I've studied here.
And when is that?
It was, I'm not sure if you guys were born, but I was, that is 1991. That's when I started my first year. And 1992, I was the first black student within the SRC of the Vaal University of Technology. So it's an emotional environment for me due to the fact that I think I was probably the first amongst the first people to chant on issues of transformation. Yeah, so being the only black male within an SRC, you can just imagine it was the time when nobody could have thought it is a good idea or even to challenge, the status quo during that time, because we were just about 9% black students during that time. That's why I actually felt that, look, the place has given me multiple of opportunities. And I think students who don't even think that you can make it in life, they should look up to people like me, who actually started at the ranks. Coming from, like I say, Alexander Township, it's probably worse than you guys, some of the people that are coming from Limpopo, because in Limpopo you've got villages, the space. Where I come from, there was no space.
the way you're sounding, it's like you have more to tell about your upbringing. Okay, before 1991, before you came to VUT or maybe embarked in any university, how was your upbringing? You growing up, where did you grow up? How was it growing up? In short, like how was it?
We were blessed. I can tell you, it was not an easy environment because obviously, I can even narrate what was happening during 1976 because I was already in grade 1 during that time. So I can narrate. We were taken out of classes during that time. But you can imagine, I grew up having been mentored by great people. I mean, Alexander, Nelson Mandela when he came to Johannesburg, he actually started staying in Alexander. And not that I'm opportunistic, but the place where he stayed, it belongs to my grandmother.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's been turned into a museum right now. So it means my brother has got custody of that particular property. Yeah, that is in 7th Avenue. But the upbringing, I would say that it's been a beautiful upbringing in a sense that it teaches you to be streetwise. It teaches you to not fear anything. It teaches you to fight, for your rights.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was an environment where you would say that there is a better life because you grew up. You could actually walk to Sandton City. From Alexander Township. It's about 5 kilometers.
Oh, yeah.
And then this morning, how many kilometers did I run? 12 kilometers. So it means I could actually go to Rivonia with those kilometers from Alexander. I could go to Rosebank. I could go anywhere into the suburbs that are wealthy in the continent, not only in the country, in the continent. I'm talking about the hub. So it means we were exposed.
Yeah.
We were exposed to rich suburb. Yeah.
And how did that benefit you specifically?
The aesthetics, it benefits you a lot because honestly speaking, it's a rich environment. You are hungry, but at the same time you can see there's potential. But at the same time, the system is oppressing you. So it teaches you to actually understand that within Alexander itself, everybody get clever. So in that sense, you respect every little individual you come across, whether young or old, because it has got its rough edge. So if Obaiza, but they can pickpocket you, but at the same time you can actually remain vigilant and make sure that nothing happens to you.
So in short, a man for himself, if Obaiza uyasala.
Yeah, if Obaiza uyasala and then uzoyithola kanjani uhlele khoneni. So basically, moindoda, or if you are a woman today, you need to explore. You need to go out there. You should not be lazy. Do not expect people to do things for you. You need to know that at the end of the day, you need to stand your manhood and then come up with a plan, because at the end of the day, Sesotho hape se re ha o ntso kopa o kopa mphe mphe ya lapisa. So try to find a way to be independent as an individual. So my bringing up, honestly speaking, had a lot of mentors from great people. I can mention lots of names.
Just give me 2 examples. Your most inspirational mentors. Just give me 2 examples.
I grew up, there are some people that you may not know, but down my street, there was a person called Mr. Ndate Taonyane, Lepile Taonyane. Yeah, he was in soccer. So we used to watch television at his place. So that was a great man.
And how did he impact you?
Look, it wasn't necessarily mentoring me, but however, since one would actually be there during those moments when you want to go and watch TV, because we didn't have television in our house, but not that we were poor. I wouldn't tell a person that we were poor. We were, I would say it was an opportunity to actually understand that in life you have to be hungry. There must be that certain hunger that pushes you to the edge. And that made me to be a strong person because I was brought up by one single parent. And that single parenthood taught me that, you don't have a father to look up to. So you need to push yourself to the highest level. Yeah, Ive Khoza is from Alexander. He was a friend of my uncle. And as you know, Ive Khoza is the boss of Pirates. Yeah.
When you say boss, what do you mean? He owns it?
He owns Pirates, yes. Pirates, the big team. I mean, as you can see, I'm wearing black and white. So the team that won over the weekend against is it your team, Kaizer Chiefs? Are you Kaizer Chiefs?
Nah, I'm Orlando Pirates, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But then, in any case, there were a lot of guys, male and female. If you watch Gomorrah, you'll see it's about a woman that is struggling in the township. Those were people that we were looking up to, even though it is very important not to dwell too much. Your role model should not necessarily determine who you want to be, because at the end of the day, you are an individual as a person. All right. So clearly, you need to succeed on your own and make sure that your barriers, you run your own race. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
So now that I know a little bit about your upbringing, because if I were to dwell deep in how you grew up, the people who inspired you, like we would stay here the whole day, because I can already tell you have a lot of inspirational stories to share with people like me, aspiring entrepreneurs. So all in all, this just shorten this whole conversation. When did you realize that I actually need to move out of Alex and make myself money? I need to succeed.
Okay.
What was the thing that was driving you, like in the core of your?
It's education, more than any other thing. Remember, growing up in Alexander, obviously there's no university inside the Alexander. So when I finished my matric, I got what we call exemption. It means I could have gone to any university. I applied at Wits University. They accepted me, but I did not have money, to pay, which was 2,500 registration.
And it was a lot back then, surely.
It was a lot. It was a lot. I mean, when I started working in 1994 at VUT, my salary was 2,700. Yeah, per month. So you needed a registration fee of your almost close to your salary during that time. So I had to go and work. So I worked for two companies, OK Bazaars and Checkers. But even before my matric, remember, we used to walk to suburbs and then we would actually look for jobs, It is different from the youth of today. Honestly speaking, there's a lot of skills that I've acquired during that time, working for places like Juicy Lucy, Hypermarket, Pick n Pay in Norwood. Go to Rosebank, you are working in Pick n not Dion's, but OK Bazaars. Highlands North, you are working in Checkers. I was a till packer. I became a cashier. And also a till controller before I started coming to the university. Then after that, I applied to a university which is quite cheap because you work for a year, you resign. Then I got entry to do my HR here at VUT, Valtech, Val Triangle Technicon at that time.
And it was 1991.
1991.
Yeah.
So clearly, you see, you want to escape being an entrepreneur. It didn't just come, as something that was an inborn. But through my activities, I realized that in order for you to survive, there has to be money that you make through a salary. But at the same time, I had it in mind that even if you have a salary, you need to make sure that you build something on a side. You call it a side hustle.
Yeah, they call it passive income, side hustle. Yeah.
Side hustle. So it means in my township, how is Antwerp ragereza? Uyagereza. So uyacaba. So in that case, as you do that, it means I worked for the university. I knew that I cannot survive with that one salary.
So at the time, Pandangan.
Yeah, you must come with creative ways of making money. You understand? Outside your mainstream.
Yeah.
And then I had to keep the salary, because the salary, if you want to go into property, you need that salary slip to submit to the banks. And then when you submit it to the bank, it means you are credit worthy. And then it means you've got something that there's an income that you will be able to pay a bond on. So after finishing my university life, but anyway, guys.
Before you continue, can I just highlight 2 main points you just said now? So what you just said specifically is that even if you're working, even if you're earning a salary, you're having an income, make sure you build your credit score. That's what you just said.
Yeah.
Then from there, make sure you have another side hustle. You are as a side in your passive income, because salary or an income itself cannot keep you going for a long time. Okay, that's what you said, right?
Yes, indeed. Even though you'll find that there are people who don't find a job. But I say, if you don't find a job and then you are educated, it means you must go down. Your education, look, I'll be honest with you, I've got a PhD. My PhD is in quality management in the engineering department of University of Johannesburg. My master's degree is from the Vaal University of Technology. So that, to me, it was just a stepping stone towards becoming an academic, a good academic. You write articles and etc. But I knew one day this may not last for long. What if people, the politics, you cannot take the politics anymore in that institution of higher learning? What do? You cannot just go and sit because you don't have any other skill. So you develop a different skill. So I had to taught myself how to get into the property market at a very early age. At the age of 25, I had a dream.
Okay.
I started telling myself, if I can own 10 properties, I'll be good.
And when did you have that dream? You said 25. When was
At
it?
25. At 25, I was still here.
Which means 90 something there.
25, 1995, 96.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's when you had the dream.
Yes. Well, I mean, the dream has always been there to say that there is no going back to Alexander Township.
No ways.
No ways.
Yeah,
You
no
can't.
ways.
I mean, you can't.
No ways.
Yeah, you can't. You can go back to the township, but what I'm saying is that if you look at how I used to live and the environment itself, honestly speaking, if I take you to where I was born and show you this is where I was born, then you'll understand that this is no way that I can go back to that environment. Not that I cannot survive. You can survive, but you need to move and think straight that, okay, you want to improve yourself. People are developmental. You have to grow as a person. You can't just accept the norm. Yes, with the way people have put you. Yeah. So clearly I say that you need to understand your systems, financial systems within the country. I had to learn when I got to the Vaal. I had to understand what is happening in the Vaal. What is the political situation? Who are the people that are influential? Because during that time, it's like during the brink of apartheid and liberation, which is 94. That's when I started to work.
Yeah, there was still a transition ongoing at the time.
A huge one, and there's still a lot of oppression and resistance from the white community.
At that time.
Yes. And then I see there's a lady here, one of the ladies, she wanted accommodation at Lauren Palais. She's in Willie Collins. Now, at Willie Collins, here, street, that's my first property that I bought. That was in 1998.
1998.
Buying, I'm talking about a second bond that is for business. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm 100%.
Yes. So clearly, when you do all those things, you must learn. You must teach yourself. Sometimes you pay opatala school fees.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
make mistakes,
Don't expect to be rich overnight.
It doesn't look like that.
No. I wanted a very strong foundation. You create a strong foundation. When you create a strong foundation, if you are a farmer, you'll understand that a strong foundation means that you need to make sure that your land is fertile, and then you need to make sure that your crops has actually you maximize the land that you have. So in that case, the money that you'll be making out of that will be more sustainable. You get what I'm saying? And you buy the right infrastructure, for your business to grow.
ngihamba nawe doda, ngihamba nawe, yazi ngihamba nawe kamnandi kanjani ngoba bowusasho ukuthi before ubekise ngefama ukuthi before umuntu a-own ifama enkulu kumele aqale alungise foundation, make sure ukuthi inhlabathi fertile nani before afake infrastructure and everything. So mase sibuyisa ladies into entrepreneurship, you spoke about you owning some properties. You said this property around here was your second property. Which one was your first, and how did you get on the second? How was it buying your first and the second? What is the difference between your first and the second?
Look, I want, in fact, ngiyathanda uma ukukhuluma isiZulu. Hayi ukuthi ngumZulu ne? Mina kahle kahle ngumSuthu. So ubabamkhulu wami uphuma eLesotho. Wafikele eAlexander. Kodwa because ngikhulela eAlexander, abantu abaningi throughout the country bafikela la sikhona. And so if you are Swati, you come to Alexander, you feel at home. If you are Xhosa, Mauteta is Xhosa, ufike Alexander, you are at home. So that made us rich in terms of understanding individuals. But then when it comes to issues of property, guys, when the sad thing about young people, even during my time, you would find that the first thing you would want to buy a car. And then GTI was the car, during that time. Golf GTI, I think even today, probably it's still like trending, right? Yeah. And then for me, a car was not a priority. A car was just a transport. I didn't want, I remember I drove a car, the first car I drove, it was 10 years old. In a stroke 6, the Rivita stroke 6. Cressida. It's a strong car. But then that was for me to hustle, to move around, to do things. Because I needed it just as transport to move from one place to another. Yes. I mean, I started buying a brand new car at a very late stage, when I could see that at least I'm making money and the businesses are now starting to move in the right direction. But then and then even issues of property, I would not want to rent forever. At that time, it was expensive. The interest rates were very high. I mean, we're talking about higher than even what they are currently are. Well, at about 16% interest rate per annum. When you buy a property, it looks cheap, but then it's scaring you because the interest rate
16% compounded or just
it was 16%. We call it the repo rate. Yes, but then it came down. But I would say to you, in hindsight, when I look back, I had a goal to own more and more properties during that time when I was still young. Something which was not always an easy thing to actually dream about as a young person.
It was not an easy industry to enter as a young person.
Yeah, people are more materialistic. Getting into property, bro, it's a different ball game. You need to be able to sacrifice the good things now. It means you have to have a long-term view in life. It means you don't gratify yourself immediately. It's a delayed gratification.
Industry,
Are you with me?
100%.
So clearly, because you're finding a new area of understanding what is the situation. So during that time, we had what we call the Credit Act. Right now, the Credit Act is no longer. I mean, the Credit Act came after after some years when I've acquired a few properties, which makes it a bit difficult to get into the property market.
Did the Credit Act play part in you acquiring your first?
Not necessarily. It makes it more. It brings some more restrictions on getting loans. You understand? At that time, it was a little easier, even though if you get your finances properly in place, you will be able to get properties, buy properties based on your financials. But at that time, I think it was much easier because it was an open market for white people. And then that's how we actually use the system.
How did you, like, which money did you use? Because you spoke about you earning 2,700, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Did you use that income to get yourself your first house?
Yeah.
How?
Some people thought maybe this guy is an Alexander Mafia because he comes from Alexander. How is he able to get
I'm
all
also
these
asking
properties?
myself that. How did you do
No,
it?
you deal with the system. That's why you need to understand
The finances.
the system. You must you know when there's a difference between going to class and then learning how to manufacture or calculations or accounting, but there's also a difference. The difference becomes how do you understand the financial system of the country that you are staying in, and there must be some loopholes that you can use. Now let me give it to you how I used to do it.
Okay.
How do we used to do it? I would say that go to the bank, ask for money. Then they will say, for what? Property. But you've got the first property. Yes, this one is my residential property. This is where I stay. This is my primary property. Now the second one, they're going to ask you, how are you going to pay for that one? Then it was easier during that time because I would get a contract from a tenant who says, I am going to pay this guy 12, not 12. Let's say 3,000 rands a month or 5,000 rands a month, and then it's a year contract. The bank would give it to you based on that contract. That if you've got a tenant, it means the one that you are staying in, you can afford it. This person is going to pay for this particular one. So that's how easy it was during that time.
So okay.
And then you must make sure that you do not falter on your repayment. You must protect your name as much as possible.
Your credit score.
Yes, you protect your name. You pay your bond
In time,
on time, and then if possible, just pay more.
Before time,
You understand? Yeah. So we call it an access bond account. You create that for yourself, and then bank into your bond rather than into your investments.
What do you mean bank into my bond?
It means you use your bond because you're owing the bank for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
So if you earn additional income, you don't have it. You don't say it's your money. Put it into your bond, and then if you want that money for something else, you can call it back. You can bring it. You can withdraw it, but you must know when you withdraw it, it increases your interest rate.
So,
I don't know if it's complex, guys.
it's not really complex. I'm asking myself, if I put it on my bond, should I take it back as an expense on the property, or should I? What do I do?
Look, it's when you borrow money. Let's say today you borrow 1 million from the bank, and then you buy a property.
Okay.
But then your bond repayment is 10,000 rands a month. But then from that property you are making, let's say 15K. So you've got 5,000 rand additional. Some people, what they do, they buy a car
With that money.
That 5,000 rand. Oh, I've got 5,000 rand extra. But I think that is not a good idea.
Definitely not.
Yeah, what you do, that 5K, that is a profit. You put it back into the bond. Are you with me? But you've got what we call an access bond account. You get it? So it means what it does, it actually reduces your interest rate.
Okay, so before we continue, can I just recap? What you do, get yourself a salary. From there, get yourself some passive income. Then make sure you build your credit score. Then from there, once you have a good credit score, go in the bank, find out what type of loan or how much you qualify for, right? Then from there, work it out, maybe get a first property, ne, and make sure the property I'm gonna be able to pay it back. You said the first property is for residency, then the second one is for rental.
Yeah, the first property that you live in, remember, it's a liability. It's not an.
Oh, it's
Some
not an
people they
asset.
say it's an asset. It's an asset.
How is
but
it an asset if it's not making
It's an asset because when you buy a property, you paid off over 20 years. That property belongs to you. It means you can put a price on it. But if you rent a townhouse, Udulako townhousing, you pay somebody's bond. That property will never. You're not acquiring anything out of it. That person, when you leave after 5 years from that particular property, utlor bye bye and make sure that you bring my keys back.
child.
I child, it's gone.
Hayi cha khona eqinisweni Dr. hayi kuningi like mangilokhu ngulalele nemibuzo yangifikele ekhanda and ngiyabona mangathi siyagxila kule business lakho le property singagcina sikhuluma ilanga lonke kanti lento le ifuna ngazathi singahlala nje phansi kahle ngilunye usuku olikhethelekile sikhulume kahle kodwa hayi omunye if kukuthi usafuna ukwazi something lapha ekhaya can you please just go further your research because unfortunately we cannot go deep into more details. But in short, Doctor, now that you've told us about your upbringing, your varsity life, how did you get your first property, maybe in your second property? So, like, in short, what does it take really to be an entrepreneur according to your perspective? What does it take? What qualities do I need as a person?
Yeah, you ngiyajabula futhi mawukhuluma isiZulu. You know, the Zulu language is very entrepreneurial as well. You know, I've listened to many guys who are entrepreneurs. Like, mawubheka abantu abafana nabo Sibu. You know, makashaya isiZulu sakhe. Iloko ahereza, uyahereza yena, uyahereza.
Yeah, push, yeah, press.
Yeah, in a way, the entrepreneur to have an entrepreneurial skill or entrepreneurial personality, it means you break barriers. You break barriers. You go against the norm. You must be prepared to explore things that other people saw as just. So, but also being an entrepreneur and you are lazy, you're not going to make it. You are actually getting into an environment where you are no longer going to look at yourself as an employee, but you must actually create an environment where you become an employer. So it means you are your own boss. When you are your own boss, it means you wake up earlier than others, you sleep later than others. It means you work harder. Time is not a factor. When the idea has come that you have to pursue, you must make sure that you put time aside for that particular idea. And you need to nurture it. And then it needs you because the vision is yours. So you don't want other people to steal your vision. Are you with me? So in most cases, I think you guys are quite privileged to have me here because honestly speaking, I'm not the type of person that would talk about such things. Yeah, I don't boast.
This is not boasting.
Yes, certainly. I don't boast about what I do, how I do it, but I believe that you need to invest in yourself. So today, there are multitudes of things that people can do to make money.
Example.
Particularly for you guys. No, there's a lot. There's honestly a lot. And then at times I think I was not born at the right time to understand even the media environment. You know, people are making money through YouTube. People are making money through TikTok, like for instance, as an example. Even though I personally, it's not for me. It's not my piece of cake. TikTok means that you have to go there every day, and you know, I don't know how much. I ask people, how much do you do? But trendang bana, bayang kudi restauranting, bayang, you know, you dress up, you know, some ladies, yeah. I say, okay, but this is too much for me. So it means I must make money in a conventional way. So it means you must also have, like when you become an entrepreneur, you must do a lot of introspection. Understand yourself. Who are you? Will you enjoy what you are doing? And sometimes it's not even about enjoying. The enjoyment will come later. Yeah. So clearly, when you choose what you want to do, you need to make sure that you are going to push that particular narrative, and then to the end, and then make money, make sure that it will give you some income. At times, some people they test something, they do it as a social. It's more like social entrepreneurship. But in actual fact, this thing at the end of the day, you're trying to help people, but it helps you in the long term. And that's how actually I started with my property business. Because initially I wanted to help students who were disadvantaged, not disadvantaged, but who did not have accommodation, who could not find accommodation. And in my space as a representative and also working in the student affairs department, I realized that let me help them, because the university is not going to do what I think they should be doing, to buy flats or even properties close by. Then why can't I just go in and do it for the students? And that became a business at a later stage, and then it's growing. So, but then there's a lot of things. If you're an entrepreneur, if you love food, then you do your business in food. If some people say that why the youth of today, they are so much into weed, smoking weed. I'm not sure, I'm still worried about the fact that ganja, is it a solution for our young people? I'm getting worried, honestly speaking, because you as an entrepreneur, you must sleep. You must have time to sleep. Meaning that if we're not learn to hallucinate, you get what I'm saying? Some people, they say, you get these good ideas, but I say you need to make sure that you cut on the smoking, and then you cut on the alcohol intake. Focus. When you meet people that are going to speak your language, and then that will actually talk to your vision as well. If people are not really in line with what you, or resonate with your vision and idea, then it means you must cut much on that, on them. You understand? Try to find people who will talk to your business, and then carry on with that.
Ngiyathemba nihamba nami bahlala, hayi ngiyathemba nihamba nami, ngiyathemba ngithatha ama-notes, phitha ama-exercise lapho, thatha ama-notes, yarekhoda wenzani, but konke akusho-ke ukuthi ngicela ngingene ngapha, kungangeni ngapha kuphume ngapha ne, because kuyizinto ey'balulekile. So sesivala baba, because ngiyazi eqinisweni kuningi esingakukhuluma, and kuningi kumnandi konke kuwukudla kwengqondo, konke kumnandi. So sesiyenza nje be-short to someone ofana to someone obukayo la, mhlawumbe ufana njenge-student, ufana ne-student one-income mhlawumbe ka-1,500, ufuna ukwenza something nje ngayo, yiphi i-advice imali ongamnikeza yona nje specifically?
Yeah, 1,500, it's very little money, honestly speaking, but at the end of the day, any money that you actually have and believe that you want to work it, because obviously now those are entrepreneurs, because money is not really a factor. Would you have to have money? If you have got an idea, and then that particular idea can be translated into money. When I started my project, believe you me, I didn't have any cent. I didn't have money, to invest into that. But you also have to have negotiation skills. Yeah, talk to the right people, identify who can you talk to in this area. But 1,500, you can actually buy a product that you can sell for a profit. You understand? And then to minimize it to a specific item that you can buy and sell, it means I'll be putting people into
a different pressure.
Yeah, I put you into a pressure, because you can. Here at school, when we were studying, there were people selling sweets and they were making money. And if I can show you the guy that was actually selling sweets, you can actually Google him. Caleb. Yeah. Caleb Matubani. He was selling sweets. But today, that guy, he's a businessman. Yeah, he's a millionaire actually. You get what I'm saying?
So,
but he's not the only one. This university has produced lots of entrepreneurs who are seriously involved in big businesses within the country. Yes. So 1,500 rand, you can start a business with it.
So what you're basically saying is that start with as little as you have, as little as you have. No more no something you're not saying and then resell it for profit. That's what you're saying specifically. Taking into account that you have a lot of businesses because you're not only involved in property, né? You involved in a lot of businesses. So how do you separate your money from your personal money and business money and profit? How do you separate all of it? How do you manage your money?
Yeah, that is very important because at the end of the day, you have my business is running as a company, so it means I've got an accountant, I've got a person that's doing my accounting, and then we have to declare every cent that comes in to SARS. You understand? And you must pay your dues with SARS. That's the most important thing. So another thing is you need to be able to know, even before you can even pay yourself, you've got employees. There are people that are working for you. Those people, they are number one. You pay them first before you can even think about yourself. Yeah, that's very important. So for instance, you can actually run a spaza shop whilst you are working. After work, you go and look at your spaza shop, but that person is number one that must be paid.
The person who's running his spaza.
Who's running the spaza shop, as an example. You get what I'm saying? So in business, you need to know, you live and let live. Again.
Live and let live.
But we are waphila uphilise. We are phila. Yes. So mar first we are phila.
Ala wena.
Fana uphile wena. Ube healthy. Ube strong, then ukhona ukuphilisa abanye. Even within the family, mina ngisebenza kanjalo. Ukuthi guys, you cannot cripple me. Le batle tšhelete ya ka kaofela e ke nang le yona budget ya ka ya kgwedi ena. And then kisna next, because at the end of the day, I may not be able to move to assist you. So it means I must be able to finance all the things that I have to finance. Then I can give back to you. So it's the same thing. It's the same concept. Satisfy your employees. And then from there, they will help you out to grow.
Kuningi, I'm with you. So kuningi, make sure if you owning a little something, make sure that your employees are happy so that your business are run up trendy. And even if you thinking about being an entrepreneur, you only get paid. The first people you pay is your employees or your suppliers, everyone involved in the business, then you pay yourself last. But so unfortunately, there's a lot. So unfortunately, we've come to the end of the show. Doctor, thank you again for gracing us with your presence.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing you again and having another conversation. So catch me again next week, same time, same place. It's Money Making Money brought to you by Viewtech Embassy. Yo, from me, your boy, Kalile Quincy Nimtsetsu Nyambo. So tinyo sayo makota mapips sawa yebe for them savings. I'm out, guys. See you next week, same time, same place.